Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video because I'm going to be doing the tag, if you will, that's going around right now. That is if I could only choose 5. Now this was started from Emily Noel, so I will have her channel and her video linked down below. I also just recently saw Samantha March do it, and I think Kelly Gooch has done it as well. So anyone's videos I can find that have done it, I will link down below if you guys like this video and want to see more. But essentially the premise of this challenge is if you had to get rid of all of your makeup except for 5 items, what are the 5 items that you would choose? And when I first saw, so I saw Samantha's video first. When I saw her video, immediately in my head I was like, I need a brow product, I need my eyeliner because I do eyeliner every single day and need it. And then I was like, oh, but I wouldn't want to give up primer, and like I need my bronzer and foundation. And so in my head I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be impossible. And when I actually like sat down to film this video, it took me like a little bit. And when I actually sat down to film this video or to like plan out the products that I was going to choose, it actually took me like kind of an embarrassing amount of time to select these items. I was sitting there like kind of chuckling to myself like, is this really what I'm spending my time doing? Like deciding what 5 items I would keep in this hypothetical situation, but indeed it was. Let me just say first and foremost, if someone told me I could really only keep 5 of my makeup items, I'd be freaking pissed. Like, first of all, who are you to tell me that I can only keep 5 of my items? But second of all, it'd be so tough. But if you guys are interested in hearing more about the 5 items that I would keep if this were to happen, then stay tuned. But first, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll consider doing so before you go. I post videos every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And without further ado, let's get into it. Not quite sure what's going on with my bandana, but I wanted to like match my bandana to my badass Rolling Stone shirt. Like, I mean, hello, I'm practically with the band. Anyway, and I'm also like looking in the viewfinder and feeling like I'm incredibly pale. My my tanning lotion is wearing off and I feel so pale right now. All right, we're gonna jump right into it. I've gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on these products so many times, so let me just explain. Like, you gotta hear me out on my choices. So I did decide to skip primer, even though that like breaks my heart, but under Emily's conditions we could keep our skincare, so I figured my skincare could kind of like second at, like, you know, it can kind of be like a primer. Like my moisturizer could be like my primer. I'll deal with it if I have to. I was trying to decide if I should go with a foundation or a concealer, and I was going back and forth and going back and forth. And I thought to myself, there's been times where I've worn foundation and not worn concealer. And there have been like occasional times where I've not been wearing foundation and will wear concealer. But typically, like if I'm not doing a foundation, I just don't care enough to do really any of my makeup with the exception of maybe a brow and a mascara. So I decided to go with a foundation, and I actually selected the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. And the reason I selected this is because while I do prefer to be more of like natural leaning dewy, this foundation is more of like a really soft satin matte finish. It lasts a really good amount of time, so I know that I can wear this to work and it's not going to let me down. Whereas the Pro Glow I still love, but sometimes I feel like that just wears away a little bit quicker than the Pro Matte. And I'm trying to think about like, okay, like this is every day, like this is me going to work. People are probably going to get real tired of me looking the same every day. But it would be the Pro Matte Foundation. As I was looking through my foundation collection, I was like, I feel like this has to be it. I was going between this and also the Too Faced Peach Perfect, which, oh, maybe I should have gone with that. Realistically, I'm going with this because it's cheaper for me to replace. But either or, I would have gone with either of those because, again, it's more of that like soft satin matte sort of finish that's still going to last a really good amount of time, but also not be like so matte that I hate myself or hate the way my skin looks. So the L'Oreal Pro Matte is my item number 1. Okay, item number 2 is one of my favorite makeup products in my entire collection, and it is the Smashbox Cali Contour Kit. And the reason I selected this is because it offers me not only a bronzer and a blush, because I needed a bronzer. I probably could have done without a blush, but it offers me a bronzer, a blush, a contour, a setting powder, and 2 highlights. So this offers me so much that I really don't, I mean, I don't need anything else. I just thought this was such a universal palette that it was going to hit a bunch of different things for me, and I love the bronzer and contour in here, and I actually really do love the blush shade in here as well. The highlighters aren't my favorite, but I deal with it, or I would just go highlighterless, and I can make the setting powder work for me. Again, not my favorite, but again, I mean, I could also just go without a setting powder. I'm not doing concealer anyway, so do I even need a setting powder with my dry skin? Probably not. But hands down, Cali Contour Kit definitely would be one of the items that I would keep if I could really only keep 5. Okay, so then I had to choose an eyeshadow palette because honestly, eyeshadow is like one of my favorite steps in my entire like makeup routine. I really like doing foundation, I really like bronzer, and then I really, really like eyeshadow. So I wanted to choose an eyeshadow palette that had a really dark brown in there that I could use as eyebrow, like for my brows, because with the other products I selected, I didn't have room in my 5 items to keep my ABH brow powder duo. So I knew within the palette that I chose, I needed to choose a palette that had a dark brown that I could use as a brow powder. Outside of that, I wanted something that offered a mix of warm and cool tones because I didn't want to be stuck to always doing warm tone or always doing cool toned eyeshadow looks. So the eyeshadow palette that I actually ended with is the new Tarte Unleashed palette, and this is actually limited edition. But let me just open this up. So the top row is cool enough for me that it's going to satisfy my cool tone needs. It's also mauve toned, and I do love to do a mauve tone look from time to time. And then I also have my warm toned shades. I have some pops of color, and I have just like your everyday like champagne shimmers within this palette. So I have a really good range here. I was going between this, the Persona Identity, and the ABH Soft Glam palette, and this is the one that I ended up with. Again, just because I felt like this offered the widest variety. This offered like those more pops of color that I wasn't going to get from the other palettes, and then I figured as far as my brows are concerned, I could use this Bare Necessities shade right up here as my brow filler. So it really offered everything that I needed, and this, shockingly, is one of the items I would keep if I could only choose 5 items. I forgot to mention that dark Bare Necessities shade would also be, I gave up an eyeliner, you guys, so that I could add a gloss, which I'm going to talk about at the end. But I really, really wanted a gloss, so I needed an eyeshadow palette with a dark brown that I could just like use as an eyeliner, even though it wouldn't be like waterline, you know. I'll put up with it. I love, like, eyeliner is like one of my most important steps, but we're gonna make it work if this really were to happen. Mascara, I had to have a mascara, and I'm going with the Milk Kush mascara because I personally am someone who likes to cocktail her mascaras and use like 2 to 3, sometimes even 4 different mascaras at a time. This one I feel like hits the most or checks the most amount of boxes when it comes to what I'm looking for out of a mascara. I feel like this lasts a long time. It doesn't flake on me. I can use it on my lower lash line. I can use it on my upper lash line. It's going to lengthen my lashes, and it's going to make them look pretty full. So the Milk Kush mascara is the mascara that I decided on. This, I was going back and forth on this and the Caution mascara from Hourglass. But the Caution mascara I feel like doesn't give as much volume as the Kush mascara does, and I love me some volume, so I definitely had to go with Milk Kush. Okay, and then finally, like I said, I really wanted to do a gloss. When it comes to lip products, I just feel like gloss I can trust more than I can trust other lip products. And I feel like if you follow my channel, you're probably thinking that I'm going to say the Fenty Gloss Bomb, and I actually did not decide on the Fenty Gloss Bomb. I am going with the Dominique Cosmetics Lemonade lip gloss in the shade Peach Tea, which I actually have on my lips over a lip liner today, over the Overdrawn lip liner by Dose of Colors. And the reason I'm going with this is because this doesn't have any sort of sparkle in it, and I don't always love sparkle in my lip gloss. Certainly at times I do, but I feel like this is just very neutral and kind of just, it's just so universal. Even though I always say that the Gloss Bomb is universal as well, the Gloss Bomb definitely has some glitter to it, some sparkle, and if I am not feeling sparkly that day, I can just toss this on. It's going to make my lips look shiny but not sparkly. So I decided to go with the Dominique Cosmetics lip gloss. And after that, that concludes the 5 products that I would keep if I could only keep 5 products throughout my makeup collection. You guys will have to leave me a comment down below letting me know the 5 products in your collection, or maybe not even your collection, but like the 5 makeup products that you would keep or have if you could only choose 5. I'm definitely curious and would love to hear. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch this video. If you have any video recommendations or ideas or things you want to see from me, leave me a comment down below. I'm trying to put together my filming list for September and October, and I would love to get some suggestions from you guys. But other than that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!